Hi, I built an AI agent that lets you create multi-channel outreach campaigns on Lemlist directly from a Slack message. Essentially, the way this agent works is you DM the YALC.ai bot directly on Slack. It will use Claude code to understand what your query is about and use the right agent to trigger the sourcing of leads, the qualification, the enrichment, then the per persona copywriting, so writing a specific type of copy based on the decision makers part of your campaign. And then it's going to share directly on Slack with you the copywriting it's going to use for your validation. You can give feedback, you can give new direction, really see it as a conversation you're having with someone part of your team that awaits your best judgment and your best taste to build the best possible campaign. Then once you validate the copy, you can just say go, give a thumb up on the message, and it's gonna create a draft Lemlist campaign for you. You can then jump on the app, verify if you want to do a final check, and click on launch once the campaign is ready. So let's get to it. What you need to make this work is first a Lemlist account. Second, download the open source project that we've created, YALC. It's your AI native go-to-market operating system that helps you manage outreach campaigns, signal monitoring, and anything that you could be doing on a tool like Clay. But here you can do everything natively on Claude Code. You also need to create a Slack application, which is very easy, seamless. I'm going to show you how to do it in a minute. But first, let's trigger our bot first. I want to create a Lemlist multi-channel outreach campaign targeting head of sales in companies between 50 and 200 employees. I want those companies to be B2B ones. The angle is I want to integrate YALC as their go-to-market operating system to monitor dozens of buying intents and orchestrate the right campaign, trigger the right set of actions, and keep a human in the loop always for verification purposes. The offer I want to pursue in my copy is they're ahead of sales. They know that the market is changing. They know that they need the best possible tools and systems in place, but they don't know where to start. So what we offer them is a complete audit and analysis of their stack for free. What we need is a 1-hour conversation with the right person in the company, and then we map out the process, and our promise is either this can save them 10% of their total cost, or we pay them money because we make them lose 1 hour of their time. Now, as you see, I gave a lot of context about the direction I want to take. I'm just going to send my message right here, and I'm going to wait for my agent to come back to me with an answer to see whether the full flow got triggered or not. In the meantime, what we can do is see how to create a Slack application. One little caveat here is once you download the open source repo on Claude Code, I've already wired a full setup mode that will take you hand by hand to make sure that every single API external environment connection that needs to be made is made correctly. And you can also watch this other video right here where I showed how to wire Lemlist MCP and connect it to Claude Code for this full agent to work. Before showing you the app, I think that I received a message. So yes, here what we can see is that my agent told me that it received the message. It's starting to work on my Lemlist multi-channel campaign. Target head of sales, B2B companies, 50 to 100 employees. Obviously, you can provide more granularity if you want. Angle is YALC as the go-to-market operating system. Buying intent monitoring, okay, great offer. Free full GTM stack audit, 1 hour strategy call, 10% cost saving, okay, makes sense. And then here what it's saying is the step-by-step approach that it's gonna be using. So ICP definition, personal routing, copy, and a dry run preview, then pause the full preview here for my approval. Amazing, clear, we're gonna let it do the work while you can sip a cup of coffee, you can go for a walk, you can work on more strategic stuff than clicking buttons on a UI to create a campaign or yourself manually creating a list. You can let AI do that for you and focus on where you as a human provide a lot of value. Me, I'm gonna still show you how to do something because you need to have a proper setup for this full agent to work. So you go on API, you go on this URL link, api.slack.com/apps. Then you create a new app from scratch. You give it a name. You select a workspace. You create the app. And here, I'm just gonna walk you through what the full setup mode is gonna ask you to do once you download the repo on your Claude instance. So first thing it's gonna ask you to do is to go on socket mode right here and to enable it. Once you enable it, you need to give it a name. So you can give it Lemlist YALC name, generate, and it's gonna create a token. This is very important. You're gonna need this token and you're gonna need to add it to environment.local file that Claude Code uses every time you route an agent like this one. Once this is done, you need to go on authentication and permissions, and you will need to give some type of access to the bot. Otherwise, it can't really work, it can't interact with you, and it can't interact with an external environment, which in our case is Claude Code, where everything is wired. Then you add an outscope here, and Claude Code in the setup mode is going to tell you exactly what you need to set up. I'm not walking you through it right now, otherwise the video is going to be too long, and you're still going to have to do this once you download the agent. So I prefer to let you do it once when you will use Claude Code. So once this is done, you will have as well to trigger event subscriptions right here. Put it on. And last thing that's important is to install the app. You will need to install the application to your workspace so that you can see it once you're there in this subsection right here, which is apps. I see that our agent answered us. So what it's saying right here is it went for head VP director of sales. Okay, so it enriched additional job titles, VP seniority, pain point fragmented stack, offer, right, campaign angle, audit guarantee. Okay, makes sense. Email, day 0, day 3, day 7, plus LinkedIn steps added, manually post push. Okay, makes sense. Now it's running sourcing and fetching Lemlist people database filters and searching for the leads. Amazing, I don't have to do this. And this is where it is. It's between these two steps before giving me in the thread the actual outreach copy it's gonna be using. So I'm gonna take you back in a few seconds once it sends me the first draft. Taking you back with me right here, as we can see, I just received a message with stages 1 to 7 complete. We have around 25 leads that are sourced. The audience, department leadership, executive leadership, VP, head, director, chief revenue officers, sales, everything is right here. And then I have the 3 email sequence. So now we can really see that what it did is use one of the open source skill that was created by the Lemlist team. So they did spend some time to think of how they could improve the headless MCP first AI native experience of using Lemlist, and they provided a free tool that's called copywriting that helps you write good copy, great copy for your emails. And here, if we read it, it's actually pretty accurate. Most head of sales know their GTM stack is costing more than it should. The hard part is proving it. Okay, great. Right now, you're probably running 8 to 12 tools, usually the case for companies between 50 to 200 employees. Vote one at a time for separate problems, again, makes a lot of sense. They don't connect, buying signals land in 4 different dashboards, the right campaigns don't fire at the right moment. We'll audit your entire stack for free. Either we find 10% in savings or we pay you for the hour. Worth 15 minutes to see what this looks like for company name. I love this for so many reasons. It's very precise, it's not long, it's accurate, it's using the exact wording that this ICP would use if they were to try to sell something themselves. So I really love this. For the sake of the video, I'm not gonna read through every single message. I'm just gonna approve to show you that we will have this campaign created on the Lemlist campaigns dashboard. As you can see, I don't have any ones here. Purpose of the video, removed everything. So getting back right here, I will approve the campaign, and gonna take 2-3 additional minutes and we should have the campaign ready as a draft directly on the Lemlist campaign dashboard. So taking you back with me in a few seconds. Taking you back again, as you can see, sent my message 2 minutes ago. 1 minute later, I received this answer, and this took another 2-3 minutes maximum. It created the campaign. It's explaining what we have here, and we can go one step further and interact with it here. Like, hey, I want to modify this, I want to add that. Feel free to test this agent as much as possible. If we go on the Lemlist UI right now, as we can see, created 2 minutes ago, and we have the copy added directly here with the right variables as well. And here I can add whatever I want for the CC. I can add whatever I want for the initial object as well here, subject of the email. Makes a lot of sense to keep stack audit. Maybe I would add something like you can A/B test whatever you want here. I still need to select the sender, so here it's me, and voila, I have my full campaign ready to be launched without having to create it myself manually, to fetch the leads manually. It's just ready. So, recap. First thing you need to do is download the open source project YALC.ai. That's your go-to-market operating system. It's within it that you will find this agent built exclusively for Lemlist campaign creation. Then you need to wire a Slack app to make sure that you give the right access to this external environment to Claude. Third, you need to include Lemlist MCP connection as well, which you can check on this video how to do, takes 20-30 seconds. Once this is wired on Claude, verify by asking it that the full setup is done and that nothing is needed from you. Once it is, you can start your experience on Slack. You send a DM with your brief, you get matching based on the variables that are going to be used by the agent on Lemlist to make sure that it got your brief right. Then it's going to source, enrich, create the copywriting, show you in a thread, answer if it's right, you give feedback, you approve. Once it's approved, it's added as a draft, you verify the draft, you add whatever you want, remove whatever you want, and you have a full campaign ready to be launched. And I just had to send a voice note to a Slack bot, which is completely amazing when you think about it. So guys, I hope you liked this video as much as I liked recording it. If you want to learn more about how to use Claude AI for your sales, check the links in the description of this video. We are sharing with you a lot of free resources. And if you need a team to actually run your go-to-market and support you in your motion by taking the best out of AI and taking the best out of us, humans, people, you can book a discovery call on YALC.ai. Cheers.